Hey guys, welcome to Homecoming, the HBCU podcast. We are back once again, and you can follow us on everywhere you find podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio,
My favorite.
Google, Amazon. So, what's going on?
What's going on? How's the weather out there?
Yeah,
Washington, D.C. Well,
it
DMV. You in Maryland, right?
is.
You in Maryland, as y'all like to say.
It's a little different. So, this time of year, we had a day that was 70 degrees. So we had snow. And then on
Wait,
Saturday it
what?
was 70. Yep.
Hmm.
We had snow it was snowing on the ground for a second for about 3-4
Hmm.
days. And then Saturday it was 70
Interesting.
degrees. And
Hmm.
it's been around 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty normal. Some people will call it, global warming. I'm not going to get into that. What I would call it is get sick weather. This is the type of
No,
weather
it's
if
not getting
you
sick
no, it is
weather.
get sick weather. If you're not on your P's and Q's, you're going to get sick. I have a very high immune system. I'm not worried about it. Like right now,
Yeah, I
Houston,
don't
it's
no,
in
I
the
don't get sick because
70s.
of the weather.
I'm not
No, my
worried, but
iron's
I
out.
know
Hmm.
I know people get sick a lot around this time of the year, especially when there's fluctuations in weather, hot,
Yeah.
cold, cold, hot. It's a mind fuck.
Mm-mm. I get
Mm.
sick in the wintertime when it's flu season. That's what
I
happens.
don't get
I
sick
don't get
then
I don't get
either.
I don't get sick after flu season. I have
Well, that's
just no
good.
comment with that. Yeah, I just feel like you wash your hands a lot and you'll be okay. Anyway,
It,
it's
but
neither
but
here nor
but
there.
but people cough in the open. I don't even think it's a thing of
That's
like
nasty.
washing. You should just wash your hands just for good hygiene. But as far as
Yes.
like really transferring a virus, it comes down
Yes.
to like people are just coughing and
It's pretty
like you're in
nasty. Yeah.
kindergarten or something. Like you're
Yeah.
a child.
Cough like that, guys. It's very
Anyways, let me get
simple.
off my soapbox, right? So I know
Uh
James. James, I know
yes.
you heard
Hmm.
FAMU has officially
Yes.
announced their new football head coach. So the
Yes.
saga has officially ended, and we were
Hmm.
both wrong. We
Both.
both
I
picked
looked, I was
roll.
like,
So you owe
uh
me. So I won. I
I,
technically won because you picked roll, and I said
what?
I'll pick cozy. I go watch. Be crazy all you want to.
Wait,
Go
wait, wait,
watch the
wait.
last
I'll take.
episode. So
Okay.
you've officially lost this bet. You picked roll. I said we can't both pick the same guy. So I said I'll pick Cozy. So
Reluctantly.
it doesn't matter. I picked him. It don't matter reluctantly. I could reluctantly place a bet in Vegas. If it hits, it hits. Are they gonna reluctantly pay me my payout? No, they're gonna give me my damn money because it's mine. Okay. So
I'm
therefore,
responsible. I
I
lost.
I I won the bet and it's fine. Um it's really wild, right? That
Hmm.
it took all of this just to name the interim head coach, the official head coach.
Took a
It
lot of time.
literally cost FAMU up to like $25,000 just to hire that search firm. They hired the firm because of the backlash or the outcry, the reaction that they
Hmm.
got from the alumni, association, and basically that's like that's what ended up happening. Sometimes I feel like you just gotta let people do their jobs. Okay, maybe
Hmm.
you didn't like the initial hire where she was going, but like
Hmm.
to have that type of strong reaction, you cost them more money. Cost more money. It's a good hire though. I think it's a good hire. I
Yeah.
liked his statements that he's already put out, how he was able to retain a lot of the players, how he was really focused on keeping players and recruiting players that fit
Hmm.
their structure, their program, and not just on like a athletic sense, but also
Hmm.
academically. So he definitely touched on those things. How do you feel about the hire?
I feel the same lines that you do, right? So we have to understand that when we were talking about it, I was like, they've been wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, you did.
Head coaches were already in place.
Mm-hmm.
Students would transfer. Transfer portal was open. Coaches are being hired. Directors are being hired from your staff when you might have avoided all of that if you just hired him in the first
Yeah.
place.
Correct.
because if I'm in a position to go transfer to another school because there's a level of uncertainty, that
Hmm.
type of job it's very results based,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to just be out there without no job. All right, it's not like one of my jobs, right? It's not like work for the government or no, it's straight results based. So if there's uncertainty at that position, I'm out.
Hmm.
I'm out. I'm just gonna go where there's certainty at, and I get paid, and I'll move my family to Colorado. But it was, you know what I'm saying, like that. It's an opportunity, and like if they would have listened to the students and hired him, they could have kept a lot of their staff.
I
But
agree.
it was crazy.
You wasted all that money. They said it was over 40 applicants
Hmm.
when that head coaching position opened up. So there was a lot of people applying for that position. But
Hmm.
like you said, it if you already named him the interim head coach, it was for a reason. You do your evaluation, you do your job as an athletic director, and I think the students obviously they wouldn't have had a problem with it, and the alumni
Hmm.
association more than likely wouldn't have a problem. I think their
Hmm.
reaction was based off of like, hey, you're bringing in this completely new guy, like where did he come from, so i I agree. I get it. Like she wasted time, wasted money, and missed out on some opportunities, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. It's an example is on a professional level what the Raiders did with
Hmm.
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
They listened to the
Yep.
players, something different. Let's bring him in here. Patriots
Because they're
kind of almost did the same thing too.
Yeah, because the
Patriots
players the
kind of did the
players are
same
gonna
thing.
be the ones like that
Hmm.
have to be the ones to play for this guy. They're
Yes,
gonna be the ones like, hey, this man motivates me, this man encourages
yes,
me. He promotes
yes,
a positive, because it is work,
yes.
a positive work
It's work.
environment that we
Yeah.
can really perform at our best. And like you were saying, like some coaches, they just bring it out to where you dig deeper than what you ever thought was possible to make plays and get stuff done and get that dub. So for sure.
Yeah. It's a good hire, man. But let's talk about a story that broke where, and I know you've been on this, but at a school, a nice HBCU in North Carolina that I love, I have a lot of friends that went there. North
Really?
Carolina, A&T, yeah, a couple of frat brothers.
Okay,
They
okay,
say
okay.
it's the best. They say it
It's
is
the best what?
the best
It's the best.
homecoming. That's what they say. That's what they say. I
Okay. All right.
they
Well,
call it Jiho. I've
you
never
know
been,
what?
but
I can
go
I
ahead.
can I can see that. I can see that because no, my aunt, she hit me up. She's in Ohio. She was like, I really want to go to homecoming. I want to go to North Carolina A&T's
It's
homecoming, obviously for the
popular.
band. And no, it is popular. So I get
Yes.
it. I'm still gonna go with Howard.
Yeah.
Still gonna go with Howard. But I get it. I get it. Everybody has their preferences. I get it. She was torn between
I
Howard and North Carolina. So
I would go to Howard first and Jiho. Also, uh, talking about homecoming, North Carolina Central was that big swag and surf. And my frat brother invited me.
mm,
He's like, "Nah, don't go to A&T. Come down here." I was like, "All right." So I told him I'll be there. I'm gonna be there next year,
okay,
guys. Don't worry. I'll get some good footage. But North Carolina A&T had buildings that ended up having no heat,
over
and some
30.
students, yeah, I mean, they asked the students that live close that have a dorm to go home,
Mm-hmm.
but it was some out of state students that they put in a hotel.
Correct.
And it's been a little bit mixed feelings about it because some students were mad because they pay tuition, guys, HBCUs cost, right? So they paid their tuition and they're saying, hey, we pay a lot of money in tuition. What's going on with the heat? And
Yeah. Mm,
then you had
well,
some students were on the school side where they were like, well, it's not really the school's fault we're the HBCU. They tried their best. It's not their fault that the furnace broke down, or some say it could be. Another student, she said, "Hey, we got a hotel at a nice hotel. We got heat. Took us a while to get here, but it's not the school's fault. They took care of us." And so it was kind of mixed reviews
Mhm.
of what took place. I want to know your thoughts on it.
Here are my thoughts on it. I believe we're in an age of softies, okay? We're in
Oh,
an age of
oh
listen. No,
man.
this is how I'm
Shooting
going,
it
right?
that hard
And
right there?
yeah, this is how I feel.
All
You're
right.
asking me how
Okay.
I feel, and
Gosh, all right.
basically from my understanding, right,
Mm-hmm.
this issue with the boiler, it goes back to last fall. There was an
Mm-hmm.
explosion, right, at North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina. There was an explosion in the boiler room, and that
Mm-hmm.
made news. They had to evacuate. Nobody was harmed. But from there they realized, hey, we're on a backup boiler and we have to get that original boiler replaced, but that's going to take
Mm-hmm.
a year. This stuff has to be manufactured. It's just not sitting around
Yeah.
somewhere like, oh, you
Nah.
ready for this? Because it's like custom made,
It's
it's tailor made for
industrial
that facility.
size.
It's
Yeah.
industrial size boiler,
You
right?
can't just go
So
buy it from a store.
everything was good until students started moving back in for the spring semester. And sometimes you don't know these things until now the boiler is getting put to use. The backup boiler is getting put to use in a very high capacity, right? Because you got to think about it. By the time that happened in August, by December, the weather's like still okay. Now kids are going away, back home for the holidays. They just returned. So now you're getting that influx of students moving back in. Everybody's turning on their heat all at one time. Everybody needs it. Now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, okay, so actually this backup system can't handle it. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe because they're children, nothing in a building's ever gonna just like be 100% okay. Shit breaks in
No.
your house. You're a new homeowner.
All the
Like, so they're like,
time.
oh, we're paying tuition. People are paying mortgages, and their
And
HVAC
then,
goes out, and systems
yep.
mess up. It's just a
AC
part of
goes out.
life. It's just
Heat
a part of
goes
life,
out.
and it's one thing if the university wasn't proactive in making sure that there were accommodations for the students who couldn't go home. If I live down the street or a 30-minute drive, I'm just gonna take my black ass home. I'm going home. I
I'm
didn't think
going
it was
home
a
to eat
thing
good.
of it's not a thing of just outrage. Like everything isn't something you got to take to the streets about. And this is crazy. Had they left those students in the dorms
Mm-hmm.
with no heat, okay, now we have a problem. Now
Mm-hmm.
we have a situation where it's like, okay, this is negligence and this is actually very
Mm-hmm.
harmful. I mean, I just asked you in the beginning of the episode, how's the weather? Shit's fluctuating. We're getting cold fronts. The
Mm-hmm.
weather's all over the place. And temperatures dropped. Like, that's just what it
Mm-hmm.
is. And it's not a thing about, oh, this is an HBCU, so it has an inferior, campus or inferior facilities. This happens in a multitude of universities that are PWIs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I read University of Pittsburgh. These kids didn't have heat in their dorms, and they just got some space heaters, and they've been without heat for several days.
Mm-hmm.
Cornell University, same situation, and the university's not making any type of concerted
Nope.
efforts to, oh, let me put you in a hotel. They're just like, deal with it.
Nah.
Some
Deal
students
with it.
didn't even have hot water,
Mm-hmm.
because right after this situation at North Carolina happened, another situation happened at another HBCU, so it's just
Mm-hmm.
like it's a thing of like, we have to, everything's not about, it's not a black and white thing. It's not going to be an HBCU versus PWI. It was at Shaw University. The
Okay.
male
Yeah.
dorms were out of whack. They didn't have hot water. They didn't have heat. They got
Yeah.
displaced to another dorm, and it was a mess. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I moved into Howard University in August in the middle of heat and humidity, and there was
No
no
AC.
central air conditioning, and I survived. And it's not a thing where I'm going to take to social media and be like, don't send your kids here. I would still go back to Howard University. I'd do it all over again if I knew ahead of time they weren't going to have any AC. Why? Because it's a give and take. The experience was the best thing that happened to me. And if that comes with a couple weeks, couple months of just like no central AC, so fucking be it. Y'all were displaced for how many days? Like, Go cry about it somewhere, okay?
It
Like,
was it was not
grow a
that long.
pair.
I don't think
It wasn't, and you went to a
it
hotel,
wasn't that.
room service. Like,
Yeah,
calm down, bro. I
I
don't
didn't
know.
get none of it.
I'm
I
just
didn't
from a
get none of
different. I'm from a different generation. I don't. I don't know. They cried. These kids cry about everything.
that.
They cry about
I
everything.
definitely grew up a little different. Yep. Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to Faith about this, and I was like, man, what a time to be alive when there were no cell phones. You had to go outside. Like you had to go.
It's
You had
amazing.
there was you could not talk to. You're gonna call on the house phone, or you're gonna say, "Man, it's like 11 or 12 on a Saturday. I'm just gonna take my bike out, see who's outside. Somebody's outside. They're not in the house. My chores
Yep.
is done. I mowed the lawn, did what I had to do, clean my room. I'm outside.
That's it.
You
They
know
don't
what I'm
even
saying?
understand
Like,
what that feels like. They don't even understand the reality of that. And I think back then too, people appreciated people's time because it wasn't a thing of like,
mm-hmm.
hey, meet me at 6. I already left my house. If you're not there at 6, how are you going to tell me that you're running late? You got to be
Yep.
on time.
You
You
gotta be,
got to be on
yeah.
time.
Yeah, you
You
gotta be
can't
on time.
cancel. You got to be there. Now people can
No, you gotta
cancel.
be
They can
there.
run late because they can just text you.
Yeah,
I
they could
don't
just
feel like
text.
it, or oh, I'm running late. No.
Nah, there's no running late. There's a
Different
pager. I
breed.
remember I had a pager.
I remember having to page my daddy.
I remember I had a pager, man.
He was not selling
Uh
drugs. Like he really like was
no,
just
I just had a pager. I was in high school, man. Like it
uh,
was a cool thing. It was before the
uh,
cell phone. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a pager. I'm at work. I don't have a
yeah.
cell phone. I'm not at home. Page me, I'll call
Yeah.
you from Wendy's. I was impressed, Just high
Mm-hmm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
In high
Uh,
school, that's
uh
when cell phones finally came out for me. And this is like cell phones you could like just text. There was no
oh,
pictures. There was none of that shit.
text cost. You better
Yes.
text after
So
7
you better
p.m.
text, but also too, like how we text now, it's very like
Oh,
instant messenger.
crazy.
Like back then, I
Yeah.
had to make sure,
Mhm.
like, hey man, say what you need to say in that one text. We're not about to go back and forth.
One text.
We're not going back and forth. We're not doing that
I'm not going back and forth.
with your
I'm
ass.
not going back and forth. Plus,
Freelancing
plus,
weekend.
can you imagine like the cell phones that we used to have? They have keyboards now. We didn't have keyboard cell phones. We had the numbers with the
Dude,
with the letters on
I
it.
did
So we
have the
had to type.
sidekick. I had the sidekick.
Okay, sidekick was that's when it first.
I
That's
had
when you
the
could
like,
get
was
that.
it the razor? And then I had the
Yeah,
sidekick. But I
everybody
know
had
what
the
you mean,
razor.
bro.
I had to
Somebody's
upgrade. I had the BlackBerry.
yeah. Okay. Oh, see, now you're
Yeah,
getting like a little swanky. You're getting a little
yeah, the
savvy. Okay,
BlackBerry. Yeah,
businessman. But no,
it
kids,
was
they don't even
popular.
understand.
Mm-mm.
Somebody posted on social media like an old
Mm-mm.
school like cell phone, and they were like, "Hey, type out this sentence." They don't even know you have to press the same number
Yes, you gotta press the
multiple
same.
times to get to the letter that you
Yes,
need. Can you imagine?
and don't be the wrong letter because you're gonna be typing all over again. If you hit the wrong letter, you're gonna be like, I gotta type it all over again.
Yeah.
I have to take my time.
Yeah, so
Everything's so
these kids are soft. These kids are soft.
yeah.
It's all good though. I'm glad that the university handled it like they did. They did as
Mhm.
much as they could. They were being proactive. They made sure that the students were taken care of. So kudos to North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, shout out because back in my day, I don't think Bowie they would have just let it rock. I
Typical.
don't know what Bowie would do now, but it's under a different president and
Mm.
leadership. But back in 2000, 2005, probably not. We didn't have AC. It was a
Yeah.
little wild. So,
These
yeah,
kids don't
we
know.
just dealt with it. We just dealt with it. Open your window at night. You'll be
That's what I'm saying, bro. And hope for a breeze and hope that a mice doesn't
fine.
crawl on you. Like you just
Yep.
a lot of things you need to be
You
hopeful
gotta be
for.
prepared. Yeah, you hopeful for it. uh. Speaking
But
about it,
anyways,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, anyways, this next
Yeah.
topic is something that
Mhm.
I know JT's excited about. Obviously, the weather is not the best. You actually probably could have played golf with
I
this
could
weather
have
this week. You could have played golf,
Saturday.
right?
I
Yes,
could have
but
Saturday.
we're getting to that golf weather. We're getting into the golf weather. So James, he actually hit me to a very interesting company. When you told me about this company, I
Yeah.
have been researching. I went down a rabbit hole. I've already added stuff to my favorites. I got my shopping cart. Guys, I'm talking about Eastside Golf. How do
Yeah,
you
I'm
feel
on the
about
bus.
that company? Tell them about Eastside Golf.
First of all, the first time I noticed Eastside Golf. So I have I like golf and I love it because of a certain individual who I think is the greatest golfer all time, Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tiger Woods transformed the sport for
For
uh
sure.
for black people because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care about golf. And when I seen Tiger, I was like, man, he's like dominating. He's
Yes.
dominating. He's dominating, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he has a swag. And I bought the game and everything, and then I was like, I'm gonna golf. And I would talk to people about it. And then I actually went out golfing with my friend like 2 years ago. Now I recently bought golf clubs. So Eastside Golf, I watched J.R. Smith. I love basketball. Come to find out, J.R. Smith went to A&T, but still goes there. He's on the golf team. So I saw him wearing this apparel on the interview. What is that? It's like Eastside Golf. And then I started I just started seeing him pop up more and more. J.R. Smith would just have him on all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And then I started doing research, and it's two Morehouse graduates. Boy, Morehouse they be out there, man.
They do.
They got but it was founded by Olajuwon, Ajanaku, and Earl Cooper. I hope I'm saying that right. You probably know how to say it better than me.
You're gonna butcher this man's name.
Man, I be butchering names, man. I was reading the
Ajanaku.
Bible the other day. Yeah, see, I was reading the Bible the other day. I don't know what America has done to me, guys. I got to get out this country because I can't pronounce people's
Not
names.
for nothing though. Not for nothing.
No,
Old Testament
no,
names are crazy, bro. I was in Genesis. I said, I
ridiculous.
gotta get
They're
out of here, bro. I gotta
ridiculous.
get out of here. I can't.
It's
I don't know what they're
ridiculous.
talking about. I don't know where they are. Everything's crazy. Everything's crazy. So I
Everything-
get it. I get
everything-
it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, so they actually have been on the scene for a while, and just recently they have secured a 3.4 million investment for their apparel company. And they also, man, they had oh man, this is deep. So you went down a rabbit hole. This is gonna be a great conversation because their first tournament was called Change 1961. And I did some research of 1961. That was
Very
the first
significant year
time.
for golfing.
Yes, September 11th, 1961. The PGA Tour uplifted the Caucasian only, and they allowed black people to play golf. And that's what Eastside Golf got with Mercedes Benz. And they recently just had a huge invitational, and they named it 1861. And
It's
also
1961. Yeah.
1961, my
Mhm.
apologize. We were still slaves. But Jesus.
Oh
God, that wasn't too long ago, man. I don't know how people just try
no,
to
it's
erase
crazy.
it.
No, it's
It
crazy. No,
is
it's crazy.
really like
Woo!
it is really, really,
Oh no, it's actually
it's
pretty
not that
wild.
long ago, guys.
It's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. But also their 3.4 million investment came from actually the PGA of America and Elysian Park Ventures was called EP Ventures, but Elysian Park is the capital firm, and EP
Mhm.
is getting a little technical. EP Ventures is the PGA and the Elysian Park capital firm combined, and EP Ventures put the $3.4 million in Eastside Golf because they want to promote uh, this HBCU brand because it looks tough. I'm about to get me. Actually, I'm going golfing in probably like a month. I'm gonna buy some Eastside Golf. Watch.
You got to be dripped out. What I really like appreciate about not only their story, right? Because if you actually look at these gentlemen's stories, they both went to Morehouse. One of them was like, "Hey man, I'm just about to hop into finance," but they both really love the game of golf. And when
They
they went
love it.
out there, it was Olajuwon. He couldn't find sponsorship. Nobody would sponsor him.
Yep.
You do need sponsorship. Golf is not a cheap
Yeah.
sport. It's an expensive sport,
Oh.
right? And so he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just about to sponsor myself." And the fact that the logo is of a black man like swinging a golf club with the gold chain on, I mean, it speaks volumes to what they set out to do with this company, which is like, hey, we're going to spread awareness about golf, to underserved communities, for people who don't play golf, to the youth, to let them know, hey man, this is not only like a space that we belong in, but you need to feel comfortable in your own skin out there. Because okay, I get how they dress out there, but doesn't mean that we have to dress like that out there. We need to dress what's comfortable for us. So if I want to come out there with the chain on, some damn, bread ones on, like whatever I want to wear, I should be comfortable out there, and I don't have to always like just put myself in a box to what the status quo, or hey man, this is an old white man's game, so how are they dressing out there? It's like, no, I don't give a damn how they're dressing. This is how I want to dress. And so when you
Mm-hmm.
look at their collections, when you look at their apparel, it really speaks. What it reminds me of is like almost like 90s like flair to it, right? It's very
Yeah.
like classic in a
Yeah.
sense of like black fashion. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And they
Yeah.
have like nice classic pieces in there. There's a lot of stuff that I want. They're supposed to be coming out with a women's line, but me, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I'll just get stuff in men's size small and be out
Yeah.
there like rocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I
That's
I
my
love
wife.
their story. I love just just how they went after it and that growth. They
Mm-hmm.
started in 2019.
Yes.
And so that's like what this is
4 years.
going to be, what, year 5 coming at the end of this
Yeah.
year 5, right?
That's what
And
they say. 5 years.
they've already, like, their projected
Mm-hmm.
revenue is $4 million. So
Mm-hmm.
they've seen growth of 600% year over year. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy that it's almost like one of those things you see like nobody was doing this. So I looked, I'm like, hey, there's other like black golf brands, but nobody's doing it like them. Nobody's
Mm.
getting partnerships with the NBA. Nobody's getting partnerships with
Nope.
Jordan Golf. Like
Yeah.
that's where
You know Jordan loves
they're
golf.
trendsetter. He loves golf.
He
I mean,
loves
you already
golf.
live Victor Cruz,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like all these
Mm-hmm.
people, yeah, DJ Khaled. You've seen all these people who are supporting this brand just because honestly it's dope. What the message and like what they're doing at the community, it's amazing. It's very impactful. It's very powerful. And shit, I'm definitely about to get me some gear. I'm definitely about to
Yeah.
get me some gear.
Yeah.
Did you watch
Definitely.
Grails? Did you watch Grails? They're the Hulu series. They have a Hulu series. It's called Grails, where they actually follow
No.
both
I
of the
gotta run the
founders
Hulu.
of Eastside, and they kind of tell their story. They share their vision. They share just their journey and how they felt like, especially with the Jordan Golf collaboration. Olajuwon was like, man, I used to like literally draw and design Jordans when I was little. So like now to
That's
see that
tough.
come full circle, he's like, it's so surreal. Like it's like something he can't even describe, like the feeling.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
That's
amazing.
dope.
I can't wait for the day I say that.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Dog, them shoes are dope, bro. The
The
Jordans
shoes are
are
dope.
fire.
Yeah, I was
They're
looking at them.
fire.
I was like, dang, these
All
joints
mines
is
are sold out. I wear
hard.
size 7, and man, all mines are sold out. So I just gotta catch that next round.
Yeah.
I gotta
Because
catch
they
that
have
next
that
round.
that black and green.
Yes, it is
The
fire.
black and green
Like
look.
that's some stuff you can
I
wear
want to get
like
some
off the golf
1961
court.
stuff.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
And
I'll
that's
say
what
this.
they said. Go ahead.
No, you're gonna say you got it, JT.
Oh, all I was gonna say is that was their whole like premise behind it. Like we need to make.
Hmm.
We know how black people are. Like if it doesn't look good, we're not rocking
We're
it.
not gonna wear it.
We're not gonna
I'm
wear
not gonna
it.
wear it. Mm-mm.
So he was like, you got us. We black people like style and fashion. So
Hell yeah.
I like to wear stuff on. If I'm not golfing, I can wear this, and people are non-golfers wearing it, and that's the mission because it's just going to either pull people towards golf,
Yeah, for sure.
and it looks nice, and then you got Jordans.
Dude,
It's,
it's
it's going to
fire.
be yeah,
It's fire.
yeah.
I'll never forget the first time I went golfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something like I always wanted to do. I was just always interested, but I didn't know how to approach it. And it's so funny that I'm saying that because by then I'm in my 20s, but I'm like, do I have to have like be a member at a country club or what? So one of my friends that I met through another friend, he's like, hey, do y'all want to play golf? I'm like, yeah, I would love to. I've never played golf in my life, but I would love to. I, I remember going out there and not knowing what to wear. Mind you, I had on like boat, like yacht shoes, like sailing shoes out on a golf course. I didn't know what to wear. I thought like, do you have to dress appropriate? I don't know. I didn't know how to
Yeah,
dress,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it was
yeah,
one of
yeah,
those things where
yeah. I
you
get
kind
that.
of feel uncomfortable in the
Mm-hmm.
unknown, and the only
Mm-hmm.
representation I saw outside of Tiger Woods is just like white people, and
Yep.
when we went there, it was nothing but older white men there for the most
Yep.
part. We're
Yep.
like the only black people at that time on that golf course.
Yeah.
I went out there, didn't know what I was doing. We rented a car, we drank some beers. I mean, it
Yep.
was it was so beautiful and peaceful out there.
I
I
love
After that, I would just go out there. I would have to beg my friend, like, hey, you want to come out here with me? But I'm like, at the end of the day, if you don't want to come, I'm just gonna come out here by myself. And I'm not good at all, but I just love being out there, love swinging, like I'm an athlete. So when I heard about Eastside Golf, it really resonated with me, like, man, sometimes people want to go out there and do something, right? You're interested in golf, but you don't even know how to enter that arena. So at least there's like, man, at least I know I can get the apparel and feel comfortable in my skin when
Yeah.
I go out there,
Yeah.
So that's not another thing to
Yeah.
deter me or to hinder me from pursuing
Yeah.
golf. And the fact that
Yeah.
they're really reaching out to the youth, you can start them off early, like nobody wants to be in
Mhm.
no damn, khakis or whatever and a button up
Nah,
polo.
man.
That's not going to resonate with kids. They want to
Tiger
look
Woods
fly.
is the
Like, damn,
first one
I
to
could wear that. Yeah,
yeah, Tiger Woods is the first one. Like I thought golfing, like I was like, man, they're wearing like slacks and a shirt.
I don't like
It's
that
like I'm
shit.
not doing that. Tiger came in that
I'm
joint
not going to
with some
church.
khakis and a polo. And I was listening to this guy and 3 and Out podcast, John Malcolm. He talks about football, and he said something, and I didn't realize this, and then I said he might be right. He said polos weren't acceptable till Tiger Woods started wearing them, and all of a sudden you can wear polo and it's considered business casual.
That's
I
crazy. I
didn't
did
think
not know
about that.
that. I didn't know
Think
that.
about it. I was like, wait a minute.
Trendsetter.
I was like, wait, yeah, because if you wear a polo, nobody's gonna look twice at you.
Mm-mm.
If you wear a polo with some slacks, nobody's gonna be like you're underdressed. Everybody's going, hey, how you doing? I never thought about that. When he said it, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
And I
And they're
didn't know it
doing
was
the
a thing
same
before.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing before. And they're doing the same thing. And I can't wait. I have a similar story with golf, right? So my friend calls me, and this is like 2022.
Oh wow. So
And
recent.
yeah, yeah.
Oh wow.
And his birthday is at the end of March. Mine's at the end of March, right? And my other friends at the end of March. So we all our birthdays is close. So we spend each other's birthdays with each other every year because we're going to somebody's birthday celebration. Most times it's my man because he has the
Mm-hmm.
earliest birthday. So I always see my other man whose birthday is like a day before me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
or sometimes they'll come out on my birthday, but we always see each other on each other's birthday. It's just, it's
Nice
what
tradition.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a nice friendly tradition. If I like think you know what I'm saying, like if his birthday's the 25th and his wife has something to do, then my friend's birthday is the 28th. He might have something to do. Mine's 28th. We can celebrate the 30th. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or we can celebrate the 26th. Like, it's just so many days in between it. So I go out there and I'm like, man, I don't have no golf clubs. And at first I was like, I'm not going to do it. And
Really?
then, yeah, Faith was like, you need to do it. You need to take some time off. Call out of work. Go. Oh, well, anyway. Well, I mean, I work a lot. I don't call off for
You deserve
nothing,
it.
man.
Yeah, you
I'm
deserve
like a
it.
machine. You know what I'm saying? So um I just took off and then we went out there and I hit the ball and it was some experienced golfers. And then I didn't know,
Ooh.
I didn't know this, but you know this. There's levels, right? You got the kid level,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, and then is it the amateur and then the pro?
Something
I
like
think
the it is definitely tiered
something
for
like that.
sure.
The pro
For
is
sure. It's out of
ridiculous.
I don't even touch that. I'm not
I
about to be
don't
doing that.
touch that. I'm at the white. I'm
I
at the pro.
know.
I
I
don't care what people
You feel
say.
me?
I
I
don't
don't
care.
care. I don't care where I tee. I don't
And my
care.
man lined up right against me because all of us. So we went out. So it was like 5 or 6 of us, and four four of us were hitting from the closest one, and then some of my friends be golfing, like golfing.
Damn.
They're hitting from the black. They're keeping, they're not keeping score, but they're like, come on, let's keep walking, walk. Like you know how that pace is,
Oh,
right? Guys,
yeah,
it's
I'm not
not just
walking
going
though.
out
I'm
there
getting I'm
chilling.
getting in a
You
I'm
gotta
getting in a
you,
golf cart. Yeah.
you gotta get in the golf cart, but you gotta hit the ball,
You have
move.
to
Like you
move.
can't
You have
just
to
you
move
have to
because you got to
move because
hold
there's
up people
somebody
behind
behind
you.
you. Yeah,
Mhm.
you gotta move.
Mhm.
You
I
gotta
get it.
move. They called up to us on the 18th hole, so that's not
Well, that
bad.
was your other issue. You did 18 holes
I don't.
on
It's
your
real.
first
And then
time.
yes,
That's too many
yes,
holes,
it's real.
JT.
It's real. And then I bought some clubs. So I was like, you know what? I'm going out there.
Nice.
I said, I'm going out there. And I saw my man. I said, we're going to do 9 holes because we agreed. And he looks at me and
Mhm.
says,
That's a good number.
and he looks at me and whispers in my ear and says, we do 18.
Oh.
And I said, okay,
Hmm.
that's what it is, huh? Somebody has talked. You must be hanging around golfers because I'm going to do the
Hmm.
18 though.
Dude,
I'm
it's
gonna do
it's
the
fine.
18.
It's
It's
fine.
just all
You're
day.
good.
It's all day.
And your arm,
It's
like my arm was hurting the
all
first
day.
time I did it, bro. Like the first
Yeah.
time, like my arm started getting tired, and I was like,
Yes.
"Damn, this takes muscle.
It takes
This
muscle. You
takes
gotta lug
golf is
the
hard."
clubs
But
around.
oh, I didn't lug nothing. I told you, I rent a cart every time. I'm
I
not
know, but
carrying
you
that
gotta
shit. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't.
you gotta
I'm not
carry.
doing
Okay.
that. I ain't carrying shit. Everything goes in the back. I pull out the club that I
They
need,
pull
and
the
then and
club.
I put it
Yeah.
right back. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So y'all over here lugging that shit.
No, no. Like sometimes we had to like lug it.
Mm,
Sometimes we had to lug it.
mm.
It was on the cart, but sometimes we had to lug it. There's people was on the cart. We had to make room for some people. Sometimes we had to
Oh,
just
see, I had
hold.
too many people. Y'all was doing too much. That's what that
Well,
came
some
down to.
we might have been doing too much. We might have been doing too
Yeah.
much because it was a couple people and then more people came. It was fun though. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it
For
again.
sure. Are you
But
gonna
I'm gonna
take
get golf
lessons?
lessons before. I'm gonna take lessons.
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
gonna
Me
take
too.
like
I think next time I go out
one
there,
or
I'm gonna
two
take
maybe.
lessons.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
'cause
I looked at the prices. It's not. It's not.
it's not bad.
I thought it
It's
was.
actually not
It's not
bad.
bad. It's not bad. I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh,
But
they about.
you're
Can I
gonna
set
need
up a
more than one
payment
or two
plan?
lessons. You're not gonna just do one
Nah, I only
lesson.
need 2 lessons. I'm gonna
You
do
don't
probably two.
only need 2 lessons, JT. Don't like calm down. What you need just 2
Yeah,
lessons
I'm
for?
good after 2, man.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna be
Whatever.
good.
I'm not even going back and forth with you. Just know that when I actually take real lessons like
How
normal
many
people,
lessons you gonna
when
take?
we as many as it takes for me to perfect my game.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm just an athlete,
you're
so
gonna you're gonna be all right. You're not gonna take. You're gonna take like 2, 3. You're gonna probably take like 3 lessons.
not. I'm telling you right
You're
now, I'm
taking
not.
more.
Yes. Do you, boo? Do you just know
Maybe,
that when we play
maybe I
golf
might listen
together
to
and
you. I might
when
listen
I'm
to
like
you.
really crushing your ass, I'm just gonna be
Oh
like,
my gosh, you're
should
gonna be
have
like, it's
took
all
golf
those
lessons.
lessons.
That's it.
Oh
That's all
man,
I'm
we'll see.
saying. But
We'll see. I don't know.
very,
Depends.
very excited about Eastside Golf. Can't wait for
Yeah.
that women line to come out. We'll be definitely purchasing some things from the men collection because that's just me. I don't care. They literally are trailblazers. And speaking of trailblazers, this is a story we kind of touched on slightly when we were talking about the shop uninterrupted. They had an HBCU tour this past fall that we kind of we talked about, and
Hmm.
the Tennessee State was one of the schools that they toured, that was like on their stops, right there. It was one of their
Hmm.
stops, sorry. And the reason LeBron James came out and said the reason why they chose Tennessee State as one of the schools was because they are the first HBCUs to incorporate a hockey program, right? So
Hmm.
we just received word that Tennessee State has actually signed their first
Yes.
inductee or hockey player by the name of
Hmm.
Xavier Abel, right? So he's
Yep.
actually a transfer student. So he's played hockey. So he's definitely not new
Hmm.
to this. Like his stats, um, where did he go to? Drury University. His stats
Yeah.
are they're pretty stellar. I'm like reading this stuff. Like he played 34 games between
Hmm.
2022 to 2023, and then he played, I guess, in 2023 and 2024. He had 12 goals, 3 game-winning goals, 6 assists, and 18 points. So for somebody with that type of resume, those type of stats, he's going to be an amazing asset to the inaugural class for that team. So I think they kind of knew that when they picked him. And when I was reading about this, what stuck out to me
Hmm.
was Xavier's explanation. He said, I always wanted to go to an HBCU,
Hmm.
but no HBCU had a hockey program. So that's why I
Hmm.
wasn't able to go to an HBCU. He's had family members that went to Tennessee State, family members that went to other HBCUs, and he kind of envied that. He's like, man, I really want this experience. So he felt like this was a perfect opportunity for him to not only still play the sport that he loves, right? But now have that HBCU experience, which I mean, if you don't crave it, I don't know what you're doing, bro. Like I don't understand it. So, how do you feel about that?
Man, it was awesome. So I saw this pop up on the radar, and I was like, "This would be a very interesting conversation to have," because I don't, hockey is one of those sports where like golf, we're starting to
Mm-hmm.
really like tap in,
Right.
and we're gonna figure that one out too, guys. But uh, we always do, right?
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
mean, they said we were too stupid to play quarterback, and the best quarterback is black. All right. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, this
Okay.
great thing about hockey is different. And growing up, I was, let's say this, I was more interested in baseball, but as I got
Mm.
older, I could watch a hockey game over a baseball game. I would go to a
Really?
hockey game over a baseball game. Yeah.
Okay. That I get. That I get.
Yeah.
But to watch it,
Yeah.
I think I would
Yeah.
just highlights. Not gonna lie to you.
I don't know, man. Baseball is boring. Really
No,
boring.
baseball is very boring. It's more entertaining when you go
Yeah.
there, but it's still kind of long. And it's like if you're not drinking, it's like
Yep.
oof.
I've been to
So
a
it's
baseball
one of
game.
those. But
Hmm.
hockey, they let them fight. I mean, it's
Yep.
really it's really interesting as far as how they're able to move on ice.
Hmm.
And like I get it. Like when I was in DC, right? Yeah, we used to have
Hmm.
at Lucky Strike, since I was like right there in Gallery
Yes.
Place. We used to have all those like capital the caps parties and things like that where they had the
Yeah.
hockey players come out. And so from
Yep.
there I was like, huh. And somebody's like, I know a lot of black people, we don't really watch hockey like that, but one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, you should just come out to the game. The games are way more exciting than watching it on TV." And I said, "Huh? Well, I'll be." It's actually very exciting. It's very exciting. It's like it's an
Oh, that's
interesting sport. It's
cool.
an interesting sport because for me, my only like like connection to hockey, it's
Yeah.
embarrassing to say, is the Mighty Ducks, bro. Like that's the only thing I know
That's
about
not
hockey is
embarrassing.
like
That's not
that's
embarrassing.
probably most
That's
people, right?
respectful.
Most people's like, dude, it's
Yeah.
the
I
Mighty
bet you
Ducks.
some
Like,
NHL players will say that. I bet you NHL players will be
so
like, man, I wanted to play since my duck. So yes, trust me.
you
You're
know,
not
and
alone.
then I come from a very hot climate, so it's not like, okay, well,
Mhm.
the ice freezes over here, let's go play hockey outside. It's not one of we I don't have that opportunity being in Houston, Texas. So it would have been something where my parents would have to intentionally take me to
Yeah.
an ice skating ring and or wherever where they play hockey. So I just knew that shit wasn't gonna happen. But I am
Yeah.
very excited because this, like you said, is gonna be like that next wave of
Mhm.
giving HBCU students an opportunity to
Mhm.
now have something that will enrich their experience. Imagine he can't be the only hockey player that feels like, damn, I really want to go to an HBCU school.
Yes.
There's no hockey programs. I have to
Yeah.
go to a PWI,
Yeah.
you
So
know?
the great thing about this program is it kind of started with Howard Gentry and then he interviewed Nick Guerrero, who is now
Mm-hmm.
the hockey
Like
director
athletic
of
director.
club
Yeah.
hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to go club because we're gonna get there how to tell the story. So they hollered at Mike Snee. He's an executive director of College Hockey Incorporated,
Mm-hmm.
and you know TC some NHL team called the Nashville Predators uses it as a practice facility, and they said, hey, we got this program. We think Tennessee State has the necessary facilities to hold a D1 collegiate hockey program. So now the thing is, they need to build a stadium, and
Yeah.
because hockey's a male sport, they're probably going to have female hockey too.
They have to
They
stay
have
in
to.
regulations. They have to stay
Yes,
like even amount
which that'll
of
be
male
nice
sports
too.
with women's sports. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice because I know that a lot of women play hockey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that'll be nice, and it's just now they said the facility is not a like a basketball or football stadium. A big facility for hockey holds like 7,000 people, but it ranges between 3,000 to 7,000 people. But and then you have to have visitors, home visitors, players' lounge, weight room.
It's like $75
It
million,
said
bro.
$75 million. That's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money. But in the article, he jokingly said he would reach out to some famous TSU alum, including Oprah. Did they get the 75 million? I think so. LeBron's already interested in it. I think they can get
Yeah.
that money.
I think
They
because
can
it's
get
the
that
first of
money.
its kind, it is,
Yeah.
and I like the approach of their goals of eventually
Mhm.
having that program by like 2026, 2027, like competing in Division One, or
Yes.
competing with Division One schools. Like right now, they're trying to get it to where because it's a club. It's not an
Yes.
official
They have
team.
to
It's
do
like a club. So
clubs.
they want to compete against other clubs, get their feet wet, kind of do
Mhm.
half clubs, half actual, Division One schools, and make
Mhm.
that transition into becoming
Mhm.
like an official hockey team. I think they did an amazing job at really thinking this through, making sure they have the right personnel, dividing
Mhm.
that energy amongst two people instead of just having one,
Yeah.
director. It's like, hey, this is actually a two-man job. Since it's the first of its kind, we have to do it right because this is going to set the stage and the blueprint for other
Mhm.
schools to look at once they start, opening up their own hockey programs because it is coming. It's only a matter of time. It's coming.
Yeah. It's coming. And I really like what you said. They have been taking their time and building the process and getting the right people involved. This is historic, man.
It's the
And they
foundation.
got their
Hell yeah.
first transfer. I just looked the other I believe they are looking for their coach right now.
Nice. What
Yeah,
an
they're
amazing
looking for
opportunity
a coach.
that's
That
going to be for the
was
coach.
January 17th. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Whoever
close.
that
They said they were
first
close. So.
whoever the first coach is, he's literally going to like go down in history. Like it's
Gonna
one
go
of
down the
those
history.
things.
He's gonna go down
Like
the
you'll never
history.
forget. You're never going to forget the first like hockey team, right? That first class, you'll never forget them. You're never going to forget the coach cuz
Yes.
I know they're going to take a picture like team photo and then for
Mhm.
fast forward 10, 20 years later, they're going to be like, "Hey, this was the first team." Like that's
Yes,
goosebumps
they're
right
gonna
there.
be.
Like that's
That's
crazy.
cool. That's
Woo!
legendary. Like they're
It's
gonna be.
legendary.
If you think 40 years from now,
There you go.
if somebody says
Mhm.
first hockey team at HBCU, they're gonna have a Wikipedia page. They're gonna have
Yeah.
all the players. They're gonna have the coaches. They're gonna have the whole story on there. So you have a
Yeah.
chance to be a part of history. That's
And
pretty
Xavier
huge.
Xavier knew that. Xavier
Yeah.
peeped that. So it's like he's getting the best of both worlds. He's like, bro, I get to be
Mhm.
part of something as historical, as iconic as this, and I get to fulfill something I always wanted to do, which was just to go to an HBCU and just be able to play hockey.
That's
It's
it.
crazy. Right
That's
place,
it.
right time. This is God given.
And it's perfect.
Mm.
And I know we touched on that, but this is starting to be different, right? Because
Hmm.
he wanted to go to HBCU but couldn't go to HBCU because they didn't have hockey. And I know we mentioned that this is the start of something that is going to hopefully have a snowball effect, which I
Yeah.
think it will. And those students can go to an HBCU, right? Because sometimes HBCUs don't have programs or the majors that, it's a lot of, I feel like it's a lot of people like Xavier, like, man, they don't even have my major. They don't have
Right.
this, like,
Can we just
it's different, man.
But can we just like recognize since we've started this show, I
Mhm.
believe I truly feel that HBCUs are making strides in such a magnanimous way when you really think about it. Like we've already reported on stories about the golf program and how Steph Curry was giving to Howard to really make
Mhm.
sure that that program like got brought back to life, right? So that's one thing. So
Mhm.
we already touched on golf and really entering that space. Then we went to esports, another just
Yep.
groundbreaking, introduction for not only just students that go to HBCUs, but for the community and the kids that are younger who haven't gone to college yet to know like, hey, this is a possibility. Now we're fast
Mhm.
forwarding hockey team. Like I just feel like
Mhm.
HBCUs as a whole, they are recognizing like, hey, I do see that this is lacking. Like, let's pour resources into this to make sure we give students not just now but the future generations an opportunity to really have that full complete HBCU experience and don't feel like they're lacking or they couldn't go here because I didn't they didn't have the major that I wanted or they didn't have the sports
Mhm.
program that I wanted. Like no, we are slowly but surely getting all these things incorporated to where it's like why wouldn't I go to HBCU? They have everything,
They have
you know?
everything.
Mhm.
Everything. Um,
I love it.
and remember, also we discussed. Remember Byron Allen.
Streaming.
He
Yeah,
had that
HBCU
broadcasting
Go.
street. He's gonna get. He said, "Y'all not gonna sell me BT. I'm gonna buy Paramount, and y'all in debt." He said, "Y'all
Hey.
not gonna pay." I don't know where he gets this. Listen, He's been trying to buy everything. He's been. He's definitely. He might be the first full black owner to get into the NFL.
Hey, Mark, you seen it here first.
I
You
know
heard it
Magic
here
is, guys.
first.
I know Magic is, but Byron might be the head.
You're right.
He might
You
be.
we
He's buying
hey,
a lot of. He wants the NFL team. He's been trying, but he's buying a lot. So, hopefully
so
he
there's just a
knows
lot
what
of
to,
a lot of
do with it.
first, a lot of first, man, a lot
A
of
lot of
lot of
first,
shaking and movements and just like people
yard
really
runners.
pushing that envelope. Yeah. So I mean, the
Yeah.
list can go on and on, but this
Yeah.
is what gets me excited about just this show, just being able to witness it and be able to talk about it with you and just report on it and let other people know, like, hey, you know, it's only starting. It's just heating up. You know, just catch us for the ride, man. Just come along for the ride
Just come
every week.
along.
It's just
Come
you
on.
never know what's going to happen by next week. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't
We
know,
don't
but
know.
we'll be right here next
Yes.
Monday to report
Yes.
the latest and greatest that's going on HBCU campuses and off HBCU campuses, you know?
Yes.
So you have anything you
And
want to
that
add?
was perfect, guys. We are going to catch y'all next week. Remember, we are everywhere podcasts are, and we always thank you for joining us. HBCU is out. Peace.
Bye.